Hi, good morning children. Thank you for your last class responses. Today we are going to see the same unit 12 final accounts of the sole proprietaries number 1. In that unit we are going to see today profit and loss account, P&L account. Let's see. Profit and loss account is the second part of income statement, is the nominal account in a nature. What do you mean by nominal accounts? The nominal accounts are temporary accounts business used to record incomes, gains, expenditure and losses over a specific accounting period of a time. One period, already we know that accounting period March to, isn't it, April. That particular account, wherever we are going to start that 1 year account period, that 1 year as a whole of that year, income, gains or expense we recorded in that one specific book, that is called as P&L account. Okay, a business entity interested in knowing not only the gross profit or a loss, but also the net profit earned or net loss incurred during the year. So we saw in the theory trading accounts that credit or debit balance we called as gross profit and gross losses. In that P&L account, we have to find that balancing amount of the debit side or credit side, that particular amount we called as net profit and net loss. Okay, P&L account contains all the items of the direct expenses and losses, indirect expenses and gains in addition to gross profit. Okay, what is that? The P&L account contains all items. What are the income, indirect expenses related to the buying and selling the goods? It's all under comes in that income, indirect incomes. Okay. Next one, gross profit or gross loss pertaining that accounting period. That particular accounting period, we have to debit or credit and that all the indirect expenses. That is, we have to find out the gross, net profit and net losses. The difference is the net profit or net loss. Okay, what are the difference in the debit or credit is not a problem, but we have to find that the balancing amount or difference amount is called as net profit, and debit side we have the balance means net profit, and credit side we have to facing the balance with net loss. According to Professor Carter, a profit and loss account is an account into the which all gains and losses are collected. Okay, P&L account means is a collected, all the gains and losses are collected in order to ascertain the excess of gains over the excess of loss, vice versa. It's not particular, we have to find only profit. In that P&L account, we have to find whatever for net profit or net losses, isn't it? If a businessman, we can't say that we gain only in a profit. It's a businessman, we can find that we can find at the end of the year profit or loss is up to in that business. Let's see, need for preparing the P&L account. Why we need to prepare a P&L account? Let's see. Profit and loss account is prepare the following purpose. Purpose means the benefits or useful or advantages of the P&L account. Let's see your textbook page number 249. First one, ascertainment of net profit or net loss. The profit and loss account disclose the net profit available to the proprietor or net loss to be borne by him. Ascertainment of the profitability helps in the planning for the growth and efficiency of the business enterprises. According to, we can find the net profit or net losses. It helps to that how business is growing efficiently. Okay, we have to find at the last end of the year, we have to find the analyzing what are the work inside the business, what are the gains we get, what are the losses we lost in that business. That particular work is called as, we have to know that position of the business. Okay. Inter-form of comparison and intra-form comparison of the profit and loss account item helps in the assessing efficiency in the comparison with other enterprises and other departments of the same enterprise separately. Why we have to find the balancing amount? We know about the business position to compare the other business. Next one, comparison of profit. The net profit of the current year can be compared with the profit of the previous year, isn't it? For example, if you are starting the one business, for this year, I will get a more profit from the business. How do you say that? You compare to previous business, isn't it? We have to compare means now I am good. compared to last year. Now I am study well compared to last year. We have to compare only, we have to get a good result. Okay. It helps to know whether the business is conducted efficiently or not. It helps to, why we have to, you may ask me, ma'am, why ma'am we have to calculate, or we have to find that net profit or net loss in that business. That helps to how the business are running, how we are running the business to compare to other business or compared to last previous year accounting year. Okay. Next one, control on expenses. How we are controlled. Profit and loss account helps in the comparing various expenses with the expense of previous year. To compare that, whatever we have to compare the previous year accounting year by income, losses or expenses. Okay. The percentage of individual expenses and net sales can be calculated with compared with the similar ratios of the previous year. For example, 20% of sales increase in this year compared to last year. How do you say that? We have to compare that percentage of previous year sales. Okay. Such a comparison will help you taking the effective steps for the controlling unnecessary expenses. We have to compare. We should compare the last year at present and the current year to expenses. Why? Because means that's a result. If you compare anything, we get that how's the position. For example, your mummy compared to your friend's studies, isn't it? Your mummy compared to that girl has got at 450, but what about you? We have to, that moment we have to find ourselves. Why I am getting, why yourself getting that very low mark compared to your friend. So comparison is a very must in our life. So in that policy we have to maintain that business also. Helpful is the preparation of a balance sheet. How it's helpful, the balance sheet. A balance sheet can be prepared only after ascertaining the net profit or net loss through the profit and loss account. We have to find that net profit and net loss in that P&L account, and gross profit and gross loss in that trading account. Net profit or net loss shown in the balance sheet. So net profit, net loss shown in the balance sheet. How we are shown in the gross profit and gross loss in the P&L account. At the same way, we have to shown in the net profit and net loss to the balance sheet. This is a facilities of preparation of balance sheet. Let's see. Preparation of profit and loss account. How we are prepared. So before itself, we have studied how we are, it's useful to the P&L account. How we are compared to next, one business to next other business. Now we are going to see preparation of the profit and loss. How, ma'am? How we are going to prepare the profit and loss account in our business. Let's see. The amount of gross profit and gross loss brought down from the trading account, isn't it? So trading or balance, we have to find that at the last balance brought down is the debit side means gross profit and credit side gross loss. So in the trading account is the first item to P&L account. So what are the, we have to find the gross profit, it's not a problem. We have to transfer the P&L account as the first entry in that P&L account. All the direct expenses and losses are debited to profit and loss account. In that profit and loss account, all the indirect expenses and losses under comes in that debit side. Indirect expenses include, what are the items we have to include that indirect expenses. இதை வந்து நம்ம indirect expenses சொல்லலாம். Let's see. Office and administrative expenses, selling expenses, distribution expenses, etc. So if you are selling, if you are get one things that related to the goods is the indirect expenses. Okay. As a profit and loss account, as a nominal account, all the indirect expenses or losses are shown in the debit side. See children, your textbooks 250. The first paragraph, all the indirect expenses and losses shown the debit side. Indirect incomes and gains are shown on the credit side. Okay. Indirect expenses, losses, expense and losses debit side, and gains and incomes is the credit side. Can you understand? Let's see. Items shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account are as follows. Gross loss. So what are the items you have to shown in that P&L account, I mean profit and loss account. Let's see. Gross loss. If a trading account discloses gross loss, it's shown on the debit side of the profit and loss account. Okay, let's see. So gross loss means the trading account disclose gross loss we have to shown on the debit side P&L account. Debit side la P&L account la enna first we have to enter that gross loss. Indirect expenses, expenses which are not connected with the purchase of goods are indirect expenses. See here, expenses which are not connected purchase of goods are indirect expenses, like expenses incurred the administration. So indirect expenses are related to the administration of selling and distribution of goods or indirect expenses. So related indirect expenses either the add பண்ணிக்கணும்னா administration, office, selling and distribution of goods. Next one, office and administrative expenses. Expenses incurred for office and administration, it's a salary of office employees, office rent, lighting, postage, printing, legal charges, audit fee, depreciation and maintenance of the office equipment, etc. are classified as office and administrative expenses. So these are all the administrative. Again, once again I read it. What are the items under comes in that office administrative expenses means salary of office employees, office rent, lighting, postage, printing, legal charges and audit fee, depreciation and maintenance of the office equipment, etc. So related to the office administration, it under comes as office expenses. Next one, selling and distribution expenses. Expenses incurred for selling, promotion of sales and distribution of goods such as advertisement charges, commission to the salesman, cartage outwards, bad debts, godown rent, packing charges, etc. are classified as a selling and distribution expenses. Already we know that what are the selling means is related to the product. Distribution expenses na how we are sending that or distribution the goods to some places. Other direct expenses, other indirect expenses and losses. The expense such as interest on loan. See here, other indirect expenses either the add பண்ணனும். Interest on loans, repair charges, depreciation, charity, loss on sale of fixed asset, abnormal losses such as a loss due to fire, theft, etc. not covered by the insurance are shown in the under category. Without insurance, we can add this. All then under comes in that indirect expense and losses. Next one, these are all items shown on the debit side. Let's see what are the items shown in the credit side of P&L account. Let's see, gross profit. So P&L account credits, we have to enter that first one, gross profit. The first item on the credit side of the P&L account is a gross profit brought down from the trading account. There is a gross profit. So credit side, we have to enter that gross profit, the first item. Next one, other incomes and gains. All the items of indirect incomes and gains are shown on the credit side of the P&L account. Okay, all the items of indirect incomes, debit side indirect expenses, credit side the just opposite indirect incomes. What are the items under that incomes, indirect incomes means, let's see, income from investment, rent earned, discount received, commission earned, interest earned and dividend received or indirect incomes. You should read your theories in your textbook page number 250 and you should mug up the format also. You can understand it, read the theory and understand, or else you should mug up that format of P&L account. Let's see. Profit and loss and fixed asset and investment are example of a gains. So what are the gains? Fixed asset and investment is a gain of profit on sales. Next one, closing of profit and loss account. How we are closing? After debiting indirect expenses and losses, are crediting all the indirect incomes and gain. So already we saw on the theory, debit side all the indirect expense and losses, and credit side indirect incomes and gains. If the total is the credit side, the profit and loss account exceeds the debit side, the difference is termed as a net profit. Okay, the debit side is a balancing will commence, it's called as net profit, and credit side means net loss. On the other hand, if the total is the debit side exceeds the credit side, the difference is the term net loss. Net profit and net loss is a transfer of the which account? Capital account. See here children, your textbook page number 251, format of P&L account. See here debit and credit. If you have any adjustment, we can put in the double columns. Here only single columns is the format. Let's see. Profit and loss account for the year ended March 31st. Some years you have to write. See here children, this is format. You have to write and send to me. Please read the theory, then only you can understand that format, and also you should study this format. Okay, first one, debit side. We can you will see in the debit side, two gross loss brought down. Where you have to brought down? In the trading account, isn't it? So two office and administrative expenses. What are the administrative? The administration oriented என்னென்ன இருக்கும் பார். Salaries, rent, rate and taxes, printing and stationery, postages, legal charges, audit fees, establishment expenses, trade expenses, general traveling expenses, lighting, insurance, premium. Okay, this all under comes in administrative expenses. Next one, to selling and distribution expenses. Already we saw in the theory. Carriage outwards, advertisement, commission, brokerage, bad debts or provision for bad debts, export duty and packaging charges. That's all under comes in selling and distribution. ஒரு பொருளை வந்து sell பண்றதுக்கோ distribution பண்றதுக்கு related to the expenses, we have to enter that. Next one, to other expenses and losses. What are the others? Let's see. Repairs, depreciation, interest and charges, discounts allowed, provision for discount and debtors, bank charges, interest on capital, donation charity, loss on sale of fixed asset, and abnormal loss due to fire, theft, etc. not covered by the insurance. The insurance premium have to now write, but not covered to that. Without insurance, we have loss in that something in that goods. Now we can add that other expenses and losses. Okay. Next one, credit side. By gross profit. Okay, we have to transfer to that. We have to find that trading account gross profit. We have to transfer to that P&L account in credit side. Next one, by indirect incomes. Only two items we can write in that credit side. Indirect incomes, rent earned. Indirect our income full we have to write in that credit side. Rent earned, discount received, commission earned, interest on drawings, interest on investment, dividend on shares, bad debts recovered, profit and sale of fixed asset, apprenticeship premium, miscellaneous receipts, other receipts. So at the end of that, we have to enter all the items in debits and credit side. If that increase of credit side, we have to find that net profit. Credit side ಜಾಸ್ತಿ balancing amount as increase means we have to find that net profit, and debit side is increase of balancing amount means we have to find that net losses. So net losses transfer to the capital account. Here debit side, net profit transfer to the capital account. See here children, the balance will be either a net profit or net loss. Whatever we can find either profit or loss. It's up to the accounts. Next one. Page number 252. Tutorial note. The expenses which are not related to the business are shown in that profit and loss account. Example are the personal expenses of proprietor as a domestic and household expenses of a property, income tax and life insurance premium of the proprietor extra. These expenses are classified as drawing by the proprietor and or deducted from the capital and the liability side of the balance sheet if they are paid up the business fund. Let's see in that this tutorial note we can understand in the future. I mean balance sheet we will put that time we will know that. Only revenue receipts and revenue expenses shown in the trading and profit and loss account, isn't it? We saw in the first class. Capital receipt, capital gain, capital expenditure and capital losses are shown in the trading and profit and loss account. The part of the capital items are related to the accounting period only are shown, for example, depreciation of fixed asset. So the part of the capital items we can shown in the only depreciation on the fixed asset. Purchase of fixed asset is a capital expenditure, but depreciation is a revenue item which is related to the uses of the fixed asset in the current accounting period. So but depreciation is a revenue items. We have to enter that fixed asset in the current accounting period. That particular accounting period, we have to find that depreciation in the fixed asset, children. Let's see the illustration 6 is some children. Your homework is 5 illustration 5 6 sorry exercise sums 5 6 7 8 in your. Please do it in your classwork and send to the photocopy. And one more work, please study the format of P&L account. Right, and send to me the photocopy, children. If you have any doubt, please contact my WhatsApp number. Thank you, children. See the sum, children. Illustration 4. Compute the cost of goods sold from the following information. Now we are going to find the cost of goods sold. See here, opening stock, purchases, direct expenses, indirect expenses, and closing stock. Let's see. Solution. Cost of goods sold. So this is the formula of cost of goods sold. What is that? Opening stock plus net purchases. You may ask me, ma'am, what is the net purchase? Net purchases means include the purchase and purchase returns. Okay, children. Plus direct expenses minus closing stock. Let's do the sums manually. Opening stock plus net purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. This is the formula of cost of goods sold. Let's do the sums. Opening stock how much? 8,000 plus net purchases 60,000. See here sum 60,000 plus direct expenses here 5,000. See here children, your textbook is there. Note, indirect expenses do not form a part of the cost of goods sold. We are not include that. We have to find the cost of goods sold in that indirect expense. Please omit that indirect expenses for the cost of goods sold. So 60,000 plus 5,000 minus closing stock is 9,000. So what is the balances? So you have to add it 68, 73. First we have to all that added one. 60, 65, 70, 73 minus 9. So what is that? 64,000. 64,000. So you have to take it and write cost of goods sold. Okay. How much? Rupees 64,000. This is the answer. Okay, children. To see illustration 5, find out the amount of sales from the following information. Now we are going to find out what is that sales. Let's see the sums. Opening stock 20,000, purchase less returns 70,000. Already they are less than that purchase returns, so no problem. Direct expenses 10 and closing stock 30,000. GP margin on sales 20%. Now we are going to find out the sales. In that sales already they found out 20% of GP is there. So let's see. Now we are going to, first of all we are going to find out the cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold. Already we saw in that fourth sum we have formula. What is this? Opening stock plus purchase, net, okay, net purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. Okay, children, let's do that. Opening stock how much? 20,000. Net purchases 70,000. Already purchases less returns 70,000. Direct expenses 10,000 and closing stock minus 30,000. See here children, 70 plus 20, 90, 90 plus 10, 100. So 1 lakh minus 30. What is the answer? 70,000. The cost of goods sold were approximately. Next one, in that cost of sold we are going to see sales. In our sums we have already they given that gross profit margin 20%. Let's see, for example, sales 100 means, for example, sales 100. Okay, so GP means 20%. Already they are given. So 20 sales sales 100, GP 20 means remaining is 8 here. So cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. So now we are going. Now we found out only the percentage. Now we are going to find out the rupees. Okay, children. Therefore, percentage of cost of goods sold as first of all GP divided what is that cost of goods sold into 100. Therefore we have to find that 20 divided 80 into 100 0 0 here 20 into 10 1 0 0 5 2 10 4 5 25%. Next one for GP is 25%. So we got it, and then 20% on already we find out cost of goods sold how much 70,000. So 70,000 cost of goods sold. So 25 divided 100 into 70. I mean cost of goods sold. So strike out the two answer. So you have to find that working note. 25 I mean 700 into 25 17,500. So 17,500. What is that? This is then GP in that sales. Okay, this is the GP. For approximately they are giving the percentage. Now we found that rupees. So what is that? So sales is equal to cost of, how we are going to find that? Cost of goods sold plus gross profit. So already we have find that cost of goods 70,000 plus GP. In that GP is a percentage on sale 20%. Now we are already we find out 17,500. So total at 87,500. This is the sales. Okay, children. This is the sum. First of all, we are going to please study that formula of a cost of goods sold. Then only we have to find that answer. Thank you, children. See here, children. Now we are going to see illustration 6th sum. From the following information, prepare profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2018. See here particular debit side. Gross profit balance brought down. Okay, so gross profit balance brought down is a closing balance of P&L, I mean credit side. Okay, it will come that credit side. Carriage outboard, office rent, office stationery, distribution expenses, advertisement expenses, bad debts, dividend received, discount received, and rent received. Let's see the sum, children. This is your accounts notice, and now we are going to do the double side of account. Here debit, okay, here credit. Your textbook page number 252. Illustration 6th sum 252. First of all, write the heading. Okay, you have to write the heading. Profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2018. Okay, this is the heading. You must write the heading in that every sums. See here, this is the format of P&L account. I mean, P&L means profit and loss account. Particulars, 2 columns. If you have any adjustments, means we have to do in that first column. You not have any adjustment, please write in the through that second column. Here, debit side also particulars, amount. Credits also particulars and amount. Okay, children, let's do that. First one is, so see this entry debit side, gross profit balance brought down. So what is that? By gross profit balance brought down. If you are not have any adjustment, no, so write in the second column 1,50,000. Second one is carriage outward. So carriage outward, that direct expenses, everything under comes in that debit side of the P&L account. So how we are writing? To carriage outward. How much? 25,500. Okay, children. Next one, office rent. So this also you have to write on that debit side of the P&L account, office rent. How much? 7,000. Next one, office stationery. How much? 3,500. Next one, distribution expenses. Every expenses comes under that. Where? Here also, debit side of the P&L code. To distribution expenses. How much? 2,000. So please check in that sums. You have to enter that all the transaction there. Next one, advertisement expense. All the expenses in the under comes on the debit side. So advertisement. Where you have to write? 3,800. Next one, bad debts. This also under comes on that where debits of the P&L account. Okay, children. 2 bad debts. How much? 8,500. Next one, discount received. All received related to the profit and discount received, dividend received, rent received, everything in that. Where we have to write? Credit side. So already we wrote in that by GP. I mean gross profit balance brought down 1,50,000. Next one, by dividend received. How much? 9,000. Next one, by next one what? Discount received. How much? 4,600. Next one, by rent received. $7,000. Please check the children's. Everything you have to write in that, no? So please, now we have to calculate. Leave 2 lines. Put the end of the lines. We have to finish the sums, no? So right. So compared to the debit side and credit working note here. Working note. Okay. Now let's total that debit side. How much? 25,500, 7,000, 3,500, 2,000, 3,800, next 8,500. So calculate all the total at all the amount. See here, 5 plus 5, 10, 18, 18, 20, 23. So 300, remaining 2 is there. 7 plus 3, 10, 10, 12, 20, 23, 25. See here, 7, 7 plus 14, 14, 17, 20, 30, remaining 3, 50. So 50,300. Now let's total it and credit side of that total. First one is 1,50,000. Next one 9,000. Next 4,600. Next one is 7,000. See here. We total it 600. 9 plus 1, 9 plus 1, 10, 13, 20. Remaining 2, 7, 1. So 1,70,600. Which side is more? Credit side only. So 1,70,600. Write in the both side. So when a more amount is in the credit side, we have to get in the GP. Okay. Credit side is a big. To compare to debit and credit side, the debit side of the balance is very less compared to the credit side, means we will get the GP here. Okay, gross profit. So let's subtract the debit side, credit side to debit side. 1,52,000. Okay, see here. So 300. Okay, 0, 7 minus 2, 7 minus 5, 2, 1. So what is that? 1,02,000. 1,20,300. Just you have to write. What is that? To net profit. Okay. So in the P&L account, we are getting compared to the debit side and credit side. If the highest amount on the credit side, we will get the net profit. Okay, not NGP, sorry. The trading balance only. Profit and loss account, we will get the net profit. So net profit, where you have to transfer? Transfer to capital account. Transfer to capital account. Okay, children. How much? 1,20,300. This is the net P. Okay. This is the net profit, children. That's all the sums. See here. Illustration 6, page number 152. First of all, we have to write in that headings. Profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2018. So, debit side, credit side, particular two amount column. If we have any transaction, any calculation, means for example purchase returns or carriage inwards prepared, it's something else, means you have to calculate first column and then write in the correct total in the second column. Okay. Here we are not have any calculations here. So by here also credit side also. So debit side already we know that 2. Okay. So what all the under comes in the benefit of the expenses, we have to write on the debit side. So carriage outbound, office rent, office stationery, distribution expenses, advertisement expense, bad debts, everything write on that debit side. Here also see here by gross profit balance brought down. So 1,50,000 dividend received. All the received items is under comes in the credit side of the P&L account. So let's total it. Working note, debit, total it all the debit side of the balance, credit side. So compared to that, both side means the credit side is the largest amount, isn't it? 1,70,000. So credit side minus debit side. So debit side 50,300. So what is the balance? 1,20,300. See here. So this is to net profit transfer to capital account 1,20,300. This is the answer. Okay, children. First of all, you have to study the format of the P&L account. That's if you study that format of a P&L account means it's very clear that which items comes under the debit side, which transaction under comes to the credit side. Can you understand, children? Thank you, children.